Hey everybody, and welcome back. This is my weird Volkswagen-inspired prototype mail truck. It's a 1985, although it looks like a 1960, Grumman-Olson Kubvan. Now, yes, this is based on a 1980s Volkswagen Rabbit pickup, which I don't know if you can see in this shot, but there's one there and there's one there. So I'm very familiar with the chassis. And although this is inspired, it's definitely a pretty far deviation from the Volkswagen, but that's not important. In the last episode, I swapped out the original 1.6 diesel for a much newer and much better 1.9 TDI turbo diesel and a 5-speed manual transmission, and I got it running for the very first time. And although it does run, it's not drivable by any means. So in this video, I hope to change that. Now in this box is a very cheap and very Chinese exhaust kit. Basically what's gonna happen here is I'm gonna cut all this stuff apart and try to assemble some sort of an exhaust out of it in lieu of taking this to an exhaust shop like I did my last Yellow Rabbit pickup with its TDI swap. Nothing wrong with the exhaust shop work, I just thought that maybe I should try it myself. So, you know, here we are. Now, I will admit, yesterday I took some time and started fabricating a downpipe out of stainless steel, and it did not go well. My TIG welding job was so hysterically bad, I overnighted this exhaust kit from Amazon. So we're gonna try this again because I'm a little embarrassed. So yes, I wanna replicate the downpipe with this carbon steel that I'm just gonna MIG weld. I'm not even gonna bother trying to take this shit together. So yes, I'm going to copy what I've already made because this does fit, but I'm gonna copy it and then weld it up with the MIG welder and hopefully have some better results. Now, you might recognize this if you've been messing around with Mark IVs. This is a stock Mark IV flex pipe that I cut the ends off of and honed out the inside so I can slip over or slip in a 2-inch pipe and re-weld it. So this seems to be a much higher quality piece of flex pipe than what you can buy from Amazon. So we're gonna roll with that. So yeah, I guess I'll start cutting and welding, and I don't wanna make this too drawn out because I have a lot of work to do otherwise, like finish the cooling system and the clutch system and finish the wiring, and like every single system needs work still. So I don't want to drag this out too long, but this will be a big win if I can get it finished. Before I get started, I want to say that I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. So you're going to see some stuff here that's going to make you really scratch your head and go, why is he doing it that way? And the truth is, this is the best way that I know how. So please reserve judgment. Oh God. This is what I have for the downpipe so far. Very, very basic 45-90 and then stock Mark IV flex pipe. I think we're gonna go ahead and weld this up like permanently and then go from there. I'm pretty happy with it though. This thing's coming out pretty well. My only gripe so far is with the quality of this Amazon pipe. It's thin, like really thin. So it's already been a couple days since I started the exhaust on this thing, but in the meantime I have gotten quite a bit done. The last piece is the tailpipe section, so it comes from, you know, above the axle, then into this 90 and straight out the passenger side. So I have to weld this straight section onto the 90 and then clamp this onto what's already there, and then the exhaust is finished. Of course, there'll be one more hanger on this, but apart from that, I'm actually pretty happy with how it came out. Some of the welds are a little rocky. This pipe is extremely cheap and thin. I would link to it, but I'm not sure if I would recommend buying this. So to continue the list of things that I don't recommend, welding with these nylon-based gloves on. Don't do it. Any bit of slag that hits these gloves melts straight through to your hand, and then, you know, so you have melted glove, you know, a scorching hot piece of metal. Yeah, it's not fun. But anyways, this is all I've got, so let's go ahead and tack this. All right, again, oof, don't breathe that. Don't look too close. The welds are fine, but let's put this on. So basically, this just slips on these, yeah, just like that. Just like that. So once I get this hanger on here, I'm gonna go back and adjust the other three. And then at that point, we're gonna be all done with the exhaust. So I'll put the van back on the ground. I've already filled the cooling system. I know that's completely off topic from the exhaust. The final piece to this entire puzzle is gonna be the clutch pedal, because this was an automatic van originally. It's only a brake pedal and only a gas pedal. So I have to fabricate a clutch pedal with a carrier for the Wilwood Master. So it's gonna be interesting, and I've thought about this for like weeks at this point, because this has been such an ongoing project. I've had lots of time to plan my attack, I guess, but I don't really like any of my options, so. But honestly, once this thing has a clutch, it's gonna be drivable. That's the brakes are done, everything else is finished. Just no clutch. It was about this point that I remembered I had this junk Mark I pedal cluster laying around. So I stole the clutch pedal off of it along with the pivot pin and tried to swap it for what was in the Cub van. Of course, it didn't quite fit right, so I had to make a bushing out of a piece of EMT, yada yada, cut it, splice it, crimp it, and then do a little sanding to make it fit just right. It was pretty jank, but it fit. This is exactly what I was trying to avoid, having the Master stick out like this right in your leg room, but I can't think of a better way to mount it, and honestly, and for the sake of time, I think I'm just going to commit to this for now. Bolt it to this plate, which kind of hides the pedal box and the brake light switch, and then I'm going to tack weld this steel bracket to the steering column just to add some extra rigidity here, because it's fine right now, but I know as soon as I have the clutch plumbed up and bled, this will probably flex a whole lot more. So I would like to mitigate that the best I can. But yeah, the worst part of this, again, is just how it looks and how this is going to get right in the way of leg room. My only other option is to move this in like an inch, and that really makes mounting this a lot harder. So I think I'm just gonna roll with it. Well, fast forward about 6 hours and I now have a functional clutch pedal in this van. Now, the thing is, I have not tried it yet. So I have it up on stands. I'm gonna fire it up and see if I can get it into gear, even reverse, and just see like if it all works. The clutch pedal feels surprisingly good for a homebrew parts bin nightmare that I've created, but it bled up fine and it feels okay. So let's see what happens. I'm like really nervous. So okay, here we go. So this thing hasn't started in 2 days. So dang, nice. Okay, so yeah, clutch down. First gear. Oh, yeah. Second gear. No sweat. All right. Third. Fourth. Fifth. It works! Yes! Yes! All right. Let's put this thing on the ground and see if it'll scoot around. I think that's honestly the real test. It's awesome that the wheels spin on the stands, but that's not how this thing's gonna be used, so. Oh my God, oh my God. I'm gonna put the hood down and pretend for a second like this thing is finished and drivable. Okay, guys. Oh my God, this is so exciting. Clutch in. Fire right up. Oh, yes! Let's see if we have reverse. Man, this is almost too easy. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. My shifter just went wonky on me. The clips aren't on the shift pins. I don't know, the selector pins on the transmission, so I think the ends like to pop off. Oh my God, this thing just proved under its own power. Oh my God. Yes. Yes. Oh, this is so exciting. I can't even tell you. I think it's finally time to road test this thing. A couple days ago, I scooted it around the shop and verified the clutch was working, the shifter was working. In the meantime, I've cleaned up a whole bunch of loose odd and ends and even tried to align it with some tools just here around the shop. So it was really far out, but it's actually pretty close now. So I guess we'll see. My biggest fear is that it overheats. I don't think it will, but I don't actually know. Yeah, I'm gonna bring a bunch of tools, extra fluids, the whole nine, because I'm terrified. But apart from that, I think it's just, I can't think of anything else that's gonna stop me. It's even legal, which is amazing. The insurance company was a little leery about it because they couldn't figure it out with the VIN, and they're like, oh, well, we don't know what that is. So we got that sorted out, and it's registered, insured, plated, the whole thing. So, and you guys can't see it from this angle, but there is a piece of 1/2-inch EMT vice gripped to the shifter. So I actually have something that's not on the floor to shift through the gears with. So I can't see anything else. I think we're ready. So I'm gonna close the hood and check the oil. It was good. The coolant is, oh boy. Oh, just spent the hell out of that. The coolant is up where it should be. This hood latch is the least satisfying thing. I don't think it's gonna come open though, so yeah. I guess that's it. I'm gonna roll this thing outside and then we'll go from there. All right. This thing is actually shockingly hard to see out of. You'd think it'd be really easy, but oh, can't find first. Ah, there it is. Oh my God. Holy shit. Wow, that shifter is awful. Oh my God. I don't have a radiator fan hooked up, so I don't want to drive around town too much. Brakes actually feel pretty good. Wow, what a weird thing. Of course, it's flowing everything around in the back. This is awesome. Oh my God. It's like, it's exactly like you'd expect. It's just like driving a garden jet. I'm just driving a garden jet. It's hilarious. With as stiff as the back end is, I thought it would ride really terribly, but not bad at all. According to my temp gauge, we're up to about 80 degrees Celsius. I'm not exactly sure when that thermostat opens. I think it's 192 degree thermostat, which is stock. But yeah, I don't know. Don't remember. So this thing hasn't gone down the road under its own power in like 20 years. So this is the very first time for any of this activity. All right, let's try for a downshift. All right. Okay. I gotta be honest, my homebrew clutch really doesn't feel too bad. I can't believe how awesome this is. Man, it's like it's chaotic. Like there's a lot of wind going on, and I'm probably going like 40 miles an hour, but it feels like 70. Oh, this is so cool! Wow, temp gauge is reading like 90 something degrees Celsius, just a hair below 200 degrees. So curious if that's accurate. Hopefully it doesn't climb any more than that. I don't know, there might still be air in the cooling system that we might have to wait out. Without my cooling fans, I don't want to linger around town, but out here in these back roads, it should be okay as long as there isn't air trapped in the cooling system somewhere. It is just a stock 1.6 diesel radiator, which I've read is enough for a TDI, so I hope that's a thing. It shouldn't overheat immediately if it's going to. All right, the needle seems to be lingering right around 200. So I hope it stays there. I'm still amazed at my alignment. This thing drives fine. I mean, there's about as much body roll as you could imagine, but steering input wise, it's pretty good. Well, I guess this is it. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I mean, every step along the way has just been an absolute pleasure. I cannot believe that I'm driving this thing down the road right now. That's just, and it's doing pretty damn good. So I guess in the next video, we'll do a road trip or something, and we'll just keep going from here. But I think this is one hell of a place to start. Maybe you'll get rid of the EMT shifter. I don't know. We'll see. But until then, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe for more to come. It helps me out a ton, it really does. Until next time, take it easy.